Hey there, it's Leah, and today I wanted to share with you 5 tips on making the best of your high school experience. And I did a full blog post on this, so I will try to summarize as best I can. Definitely go check that out for the full review on the tips, because I went more in depth on there, but I just wanted to go over briefly in a video for those who may not be aware of the blog, or just tend to watch the videos more than anything else. So I didn't want to miss out on you guys hearing the message, so I'll just go ahead and jump into it. And the first thing I want to say is we all have this kind of anxious feeling about school, whether we're anxious and terrified, anxious and excited, anxious and kind of more apathetic. But the best way to go into a new school experience, whether it's your first year at a new school or you're going back to school, is to have a positive attitude. Because if you have a positive, realistic attitude towards the upcoming school year, you're going to have a more positive experience. So definitely go into it with a positive attitude. And then the first tip I have is stay true to yourself. Don't compromise your morals and your convictions to please other people. In fact, it's probably a great idea to write down what your goals are, not necessarily just for school. It could be getting at least B's or higher on your report card, or don't cheat on your tests, or staying out of serious relationships while you're in high school. Or it's a good idea to have goals beyond high school as well, because it helps you to think a little bit further. Because I know for me, when I was in high school, I tended to think that the world was inside those walls, and you forget that there's a whole nother world out there, which is the real world. And you start thinking that that's all that matters, that it's who you know, it's what you do within those walls. And it's good to have some goals for your future of, even, they don't have to be set in stone, but just ideas of things that you maybe want to do as a career after you graduate. Maybe you want to start a family when you graduate. These kind of things that are healthy goals to work towards, so that you can look at this list when you're facing pressures, or it's good to just look back on from time to time, even on a daily basis, so that you can stay on track towards your goals. And when choices and you're faced with decisions where you can do one thing or the other, you can better evaluate and say, will this help or hinder my goals? Will this keep me on track towards the future that I have planned for myself, or will this completely shove me off track and ruin my chances for future things? So it's great to have a list that you can look back on to help you, keep on going towards your goals. So I definitely recommend that, and you can keep that in your locker, or your backpack, or your purse, or somewhere with you, so you can constantly look at, these are my goals. I want to keep on track towards these goals. So that is tip number 1. Number 2 is choose your friends carefully. And I can't emphasize this enough, because good company promotes good choices, and bad company corrupts good morals. So if you have good friends that sincerely care about your best interests and your well-being, they're going to help you to stay with your goals in mind, and they're going to help you, encourage you along the way throughout your school experience. So definitely pick good friends. And actually, I heard a great quote from someone, and I don't remember where I heard it, but they said, high school is not the place where you meet your husband. High school is the place where you meet your bridesmaids. And it's so true, because those who find their husband in high school are the exception. It does happen, but it's very rare. So that leads me into the next one, which is avoid serious relationships, because this is a time where you're supposed to be having fun with your friends and learning about who you are as an individual and what you can bring good into this world. And when you bring another a romantic relationship into the picture, you start thinking about them sometimes more than yourself, because emotions are involved. And for women, at least, it's for us, we like to please our partner, and we end up doing things that we normally wouldn't do, but we are blinded by love, as they say. So it's a good thing to use this time to figure out who you are, what you want to do, and just grow as an individual, because you have plenty of time for a serious relationship. And most people don't get married till after graduation of college, so you're not in a rush to find someone in high school. It's really a great idea to have a long, healthy friendship first. If you do find a guy or a girl in high school that you are attracted to and you really, really like, I can't emphasize how it's great to just have a strong friendship connection with that person before ever getting serious or dating. My husband, he and I were best friends for 4.5 years before we ever dated seriously. And I attribute that to our long, strong, healthy marriage, because we got to know each other on a friend level and who we were as individuals and not as a couple, without, physical and emotional things getting intertwined. It was purely friendship. And I think that made all the difference, and I know it will make all the difference for you. So don't feel like you have to rush into a relationship in high school. Just enjoy this time with your friends and having fun. And number 4 is, got my list here, get involved. Boredom is the #1 reason why we lose self-control and do things that we don't really want to do. We just start replacing our time with things that aren't really beneficial because we're bored. So get involved, do sports, have fun with your friends that you're doing something healthy or not detrimental. Do service work, volunteer somewhere. There's all kinds of things you can get involved in that will be helpful and beneficial and not destructive. But boredom definitely is proven cause of destructive actions and getting involved in activities that aren't really healthy or good for us. So get involved, stay busy in good and practical hobbies. And number 5 is have fun. I could tell you all day long of the things that you should and shouldn't do, but when it comes down to it, this is a time in your life where your responsibilities are minimal. It's a stepping stone to adulthood where you're learning how to be more independent and more responsible, but your responsibilities really are minimal because you're still living at home or with a grandparent or whoever is your guardian. They are your primary caretaker, and you have a lot less responsibilities that way, so it frees you up to enjoy life and just have fun with your friends, be goofy and silly by staying out of trouble. But it is a time where you really can enjoy simplicity in life, because adulthood, there's a lot more things you have to think about. So enjoy this time with your friends, having fun. And I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you something to think about. I know personally I wish someone would have told me these things when I was in high school, because quite honestly I didn't have a great high school experience, and I know it's because I didn't have this advice or take this advice back then. So I'm hoping that by sharing this with you, you will have a great high school experience, and that you will continue to have a bright future. And if you have any questions or you have any tips that you want to share, please share those with us either here on the video or on our Facebook, because I'm sure it will be helpful to other people, and we just love to hear from you. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and don't forget to be epic, because you are.